Hi guys, it's Beth from ArtBase here. Now obviously we can't do our workshops at the moment, so we thought it'd be really nice if we brought our workshops to you. We're going to have a little go today at doing this little fella, a nice little fluffy emu sketch. We're going to do it in two parts. So today we're going to concentrate on the pencil drawing, and then next session we're going to introduce some pen and ink. The materials that you need are very simple. We just need a 2B pencil if you have one, but if you don't, then please don't worry. You can just use an HB one, a rubber, and then for part 2, you will need a water-soluble black ink pen. That could be a felt tip or any other kind of black pen, doesn't matter. Okay, so if you're ready, then we're going to give it a start. Okay, right, so I think we're going to start with the beak. What we're going to do is just about, I would say, just over halfway up the page, okay? So we want to make the beak quite high up. We need to leave room for the neck, the nice long neck. When you're sketching, obviously you press nice and lightly. I'm going to press a bit harder so that you can see it clearly. But press lightly, and then if you do make a mistake, it's really easy to rub out. Okay, so to start with then, we're going to do a nice curve. This is the top of the beak. All right, and then we're going to just little lines. We want to bring it down on both sides. We'll do both sides at the same time, and then we can keep it relatively symmetrical. So a little curve under on both sides, and then we're going to take it over to the left a little bit and round. Again, on the same on the other side, round and down. Okay, now we're going to bring that line round, down, round and down, and then a nice big curved line that goes round like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we're going to do a little line. This is the mouth that goes down quite low, following the bottom curve line. Okay, like this. Obviously get your lines right, and then you can work over them once you're happy with the position. And then our little nostrils, so just 2 little ovals, 1 each side, keeping it quite simple. So that's the basic outline of our nose. Right, so eyes next. The eyes, emu's got quite nice big round eyes. If you look at the edge of your mouth and you go up, not too far, and we're going to do quite a big circle, okay? So again, little lines that will help you, because circles are quite tricky to do. So a nice big circle, I would say, well, depending on the size of your paper, but mine's about the size of a cherry tomato, like that. We're going to do the same on each side, so have a little look, the edge of the mouth. Then we're going to take it up, try and keep it level as well. And then another eye. Doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, okay guys? It's fine if it's not quite perfect, all right? If you make a mistake, you've got your rubber, so you can just rub out until you're happy with your lines. See, that one's slightly different to that one, but that's fine. I quite like it when it's a bit quirky. Okay, so you've got your 2 eyes mapped in. All right, this ostrich, this emu, is quite fluffy, so we're not going to do a continuous line. We're just going to sketch it out to start with. Just make sure that we're happy before we add, go a bit darker, basically. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a little eyelash on each side first of all, just to guide us. And then where that eyelash comes out, we're just going to do a little sort of squiggly line that goes up, over, and the same on the other side. Just some little lines just to map out the shape of the head. Okay, just rub that one out, don't need that one. All right, maybe over a little bit more. Okay, it's just a rough guideline at the moment. All right, just to give us a little idea of the shape. Right, so once we've got that under the eyes, it's going to come out a little bit. We're going to give him some quite big sort of fat cheeks. Okay, so it's going to again, follow the shape of the mouth a little bit, a nice curve down under the mouth. And again, the same on the other side. So we're sort of starting from just halfway into the eye, down, round, and then, okay, just quite lightly at the moment. Okay, like that. All right, so just nice little sketchy lines. Right, stand back from it if you're not happy, just to check that you're happy with the rough shape. If you're not, rub it out and do it again. Now for the neck, really simple. All we're going to do for the neck is just 2 little lines coming down. Rough, maybe sort of just slightly narrower than the mouth. All the way down, take it off the edge of the page. Okay, so now we've got our very rough outline of our emu. So once we've got that, we're going to add some shading and some line work. All right, just get rid of those bits of rubber. So I'm going to start with the eyes first of all. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do another circle inside. So we're giving that eye another circle all the way inside, like this. All right, and then in that one, we're going to do another one really big. Make sure that touches the top and the bottom. Okay, and that's more of like an oval. All right, we'll do the same on the other side. So another circle inside that circle like that, and then another oval. Try and keep it roughly in the same place on each eye. So another, like a big oval. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I think we are going to do a little bit of line work, a bit of shading. So we're going to make him really fluffy. So what we'll do to start with, we're going to work some line work, just sort of flicky line work. So it's not perfect, it's quite loose, crisscrossing over. I'm going to take it over you can see, take it over that line that we drew, that we mapped in to start with. I'm going quite quickly, obviously you can go at your pace, and I'm not doing it in perfectly symmetrical lines, crisscrossing over, taking it out of the edge a little bit to make it look fluffy. Okay, now the direction, imagine the feathers growing on his face, so you want to bring it round and down. We're not going crisscrossing all the way across, we're trying to keep it vertical a little bit and following the shape of his face. Okay, so bringing these lines down, a little bit in the middle, round his eyes, bring it round his eyes. Okay, just on the top of his beak, like this. A little bit, I'm not doing too much on the top of his beak. And then around the edge of the face, and then under his mouth. So taking it all the way round. So little fluffy bits all the way. Make sure I'll make a little bit. Okay, under his mouth, like this. Now, we want to just add a bit of shading now. So what I would do is around the eyes, we're going to work that a little bit more. We want to make it a bit darker around his eyes. So I'm going to work it a bit more around the eyes, like this. Give him some little eyelashes. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So work it a little bit more now. Over the eyes, around and underneath. Just to start making it a bit darker like that. Okay, and we're going to do the same under the mouth, because the mouth obviously sticks out, so the mouth is going to be lighter, and we're going to make it a bit darker under the mouth. Looks a bit like a beard at the moment. Alright, and then what we're going to do, we're just going to rub it a little bit with our fingers, just smudge it. Now this is where, if you've got a 2B pencil, mine's shaking a bit. Got a 2B pencil, it will smudge a bit easier than if you've got an HB pencil, but that's fine, doesn't matter. And we'll just give it a good rub, just smudge it in a little bit. Okay, the softer your pencil, the easier it is to smudge. Okay, just adjust my easel because it's just slipped a little bit there. Okay, right. So what we'll do next, we'll do a little bit of line work on the neck, and then we'll come back to the eyes and the beak. So the neck, we're going to put a few little markings in to start with. So Enu's got some little markings. Now don't put these in like perfectly straight lines, keep them quite random and press hard with your pencil. We want to make these quite dark. So I'm just doing some little spots, but I'm making mine more like some little scribbles almost, like this. So just random, don't do them in perfect stripes. We don't really want a stripy neck. Okay. And take them down all the way to the bottom. Okay, so we've got a nice spotty neck. The next thing we're going to do, we're just going to add some feathers again, make him look fluffy down the neck. So we'll just put a little base of feathers to start with. So again, I like my Emu to look really fluffy, so I'm doing it nice and lightly, different lengths, crisscrossing over. Mine's quite scribbly. Okay, take it over the edge of your pencil line a little bit. So working all the way down. Okay. So I'm working quite quickly. And then what we want to do after this is we want to make the neck look like it's got some form. So we want the middle bits to be lighter than the edges and under the chin. So we want to make the edges darker, and that helps it to look a little bit 3D. So I'm going to work a bit more, a bit like I did around the eyes, a bit down the edge of the neck. So we're going to work that, make it a bit darker, and this way we're making it look like it has more shape, it's less flat. So on both sides the same. Okay. So all the way down. Okay, and under the chin, because obviously the chin will stick out. So under the chin, I'm going to put a bit of shading as well. Okay, and that makes the chin a bit lighter, and that makes the chin look like it's sticking out a bit more. Okay, so a bit of shading, and then again I'm going to use my finger and just smudge it in a little bit. Just smudge all that in. You're going to get a mucky finger, that's fine, wash your hands. So there we go. Alright, so that's the start, the base. Right, next we're going to put our eyes in. Now this will bring it to life a little bit more. I love it when you put the eyes in, transforms it. So what we will do, I want you to just mark a little section in your eye. Make sure it's in the same place on each side. So if you're doing it to the right, you do it to the right on this eye as well. So I'm doing like a little section. That's going to be my highlight, my white highlight. I'm going to leave that white and I'm going to press super hard with my pencil and get this middle bit really dark, like this. Okay, so you want to make that really dark, so press as hard as you can without breaking your pencil, and the same on this side. Okay, so really dark. So we've got that, got the eyes in, see it looks so much better already. So eyes, and then the next little bit we're going to shade again, but press it slightly lighter. So this bit's going to be more of a grey than a black. Okay, so that's the next circle that we drew, and then leave that outer circle white. Okay, so there we go. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do for the eyes. And then the nose, again, we want to give this a bit of shape. So the first thing, obviously the easy bit, is the nostrils. We can colour them, make them really dark, there, like that. And then we want to make this lip, this bottom lip, a little bit darker than this bit. This bit we want to leave nice and light. So under the mouth, under this line here, I'm just going to shade it a little bit. A bit of smudging, if you can. A little bit of shading. A bit of smudging. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to work back over this line and really bring it out, make that bit nice and dark as well. There you go. Like that. Okay. Alright. And then I'm going to put a little bit of shading, just gently, don't press too hard, we don't want it too dark. Just a little bit of shading at the edge and try and blend it with your finger towards your nose, towards your nostrils, like this on both sides. Like that. Maybe a little bit at the top. Take it round, follow the curve at the top, like that. Okay, there we go. So then have a little step back and have a little look and see what you think and whether it needs any more. So I would probably put a little bit more at the top, maybe give them a bit more, shape it a bit more so it goes down a little bit in the middle, like that. And then maybe a little bit under his eyes a bit, like this. And then really make the dark bits a bit darker. A few more little hairs. Okay, and then we're nearly there. The last little bit, what you could do if you wanted to, is with your rubber, if you've got a bit smudgy on your nose and you wanted to make it a bit lighter, you can take your rubber and just rub it out and just make that really nice and light on his nose. And then you can also use your rubber just to add maybe some lighter bits in down the middle a little bit, like that, and maybe just down the middle of his neck, like that. Okay, and then we're pretty much there. So that's the first part done, and then the next part will be adding some pen and ink, but we'll do that bit in the next session. But we've got our lovely emu sketch. So I hope you enjoyed that. We would love to see your pictures, so if you're able to, you can email them to us or upload them onto our Facebook page. So that's it for this session, and we look forward to seeing you for part 2. Bye!